Fair. I'm town administrator for the town, and thank you all for turning out. Collbran is a wonderful community. The support for the families is overwhelming. If you look in the back of donations of water for the rescue crews and so on and so forth, and you can look back there's almost a semi-load of material. So thank you, everybody. You deserve a big pat on the back for that. With our program tonight, we have some speakers, we have some maps, there are microphones. There's a lot of folks in here, so if we can keep those back doors open, we can get some cross ventilation in here so it doesn't get too hot. I'm here with Sheriff Hilkey from the Mesa County Sheriff's Department, and I'm going to turn the microphone over to him in a second. But again, thank you all for showing up tonight. I know this is all important to you, and it's important to us as well, so we want to make sure you have accurate and good information. So thank you very much. Sheriff Hilkey.
I hope everybody can hear me. I'll try to make sure that I talk as loud as I can for those in the back. Thank you for being here tonight. I first want to start off by acknowledging Clancy, Danny, and Wes, and just tell you that we're sorry that these men have been lost, and we're sorry that we're unable to find them for you. As you know, and you've seen the pictures, it's an overwhelming event. But I also want to acknowledge that this community has been great, and it's terrific the amount of love and support that you've wrapped around their family and around each other during a difficult time. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our management organization of this event. And included in any event like this, there's a really formal process, and included in that are goals and objectives. And I want you to know that attempting to locate these men where they are remains one of our goals and objectives, and will always remain one of our goals and objectives until we run out of options. So we're going to spend a lot of time tonight talking about the potential of a second slide and why that concerns us, and about planning and the activities surrounding that. And I wanted to start off talking about Danny, Clancy, and Wes, so that we don't forget that piece, because it's the piece that we never ever want to forget. So I'm going to start off by just telling you a little bit. I'm assuming that I'm talking to a crowd that really has a lot more information than some of the other crowds down in the valley that I've been talking to. We're here because of this slide event that occurred on Sunday night. One of the things that I do want to give you a piece of information for, because we found that this was really useful to many people, is that our seismology department with Colorado Mesa University has detection equipment placed all over our county and all over the western slope, frankly. And that seismology equipment gives us a good indicator of when the slide occurred. And there's lots of different accounts of when that might have occurred. I can only give you the data for sure of what was recorded that gives us an idea, a pretty good idea. We know that in the morning, at about 7:18 in the morning, there was seismic activity in the area that's confirmed by locating this seismology equipment in several different places, that there was probably the first slide that ended up somehow or another adversely impacting the irrigation, which caused the curiosity by these three men to go investigate. It was 5:44 in the afternoon that the seismographs recorded a major, what we believe to be the major slide. And the duration of that was only a couple of minutes, and we know that based on what the experts have told us, that this was something that occurred very fast. And so I wanted to give you that data. There's speculation about when it actually occurred. This is the only seismology data that we have. Next, I want to talk to you a little bit about how we're managing this incident. And before I do that, I want to kind of give you a rundown of what you're going to hear tonight. In addition to how we're managing this incident and who's involved in trying to deal with this, I want to talk to you. We're going to have a representative from the state here to talk about how the state is involved, how the governor's office is involved, and they've been really terrific. Everybody has. We're going to hear from technical experts, geologists, engineers, about why we have these concerns about a future slide, and why that has caused us to pull people off of that debris pile. And we're also going to hear from our own county employee, Peter Bears, here tonight. He's our operations section chief, Many of you know him. He's got a long connection to Mesa County, and he's going to talk to you about what we're trying to do to set up the monitoring so that we can understand what that mountain is doing. I want to tell you, what we're doing is trying to outguess the mountain. And this is difficult work, but we have some of the best brains on it, and we're bringing to bear all the kind of right resources for you on this. Our emergency manager is here tonight. We want to talk to you about how we're going to, our real big difficult task is to attach monitoring to an early warning system. And frankly, I will be the first to tell you that we don't have all the answers for you tonight because it is such a unique event. For those answers that we don't have for you to your questions, I believe the answer will be we're doing everything we possibly can to get those answers. And then we're going to, before we wrap up tonight and get into the questions that you may have, I want a representative from the Grand Junction Police Department's 911 Communication Center to come up and talk to you about how you can register your email and your cell phone for emergency notifications. This is good for anybody that lives anywhere in Mesa County, frankly, and she can talk to you about what that system does. We'll then wrap up with some questions and answers and have the opportunity to, if your question is for an expert in geology or for emergency management or me or anybody, there are, in addition to the people that we have ready to speak, there are members of our team and our management team that are in this audience tonight that may be able to also help answer questions. And then we'll wrap up and we'll talk about when we may want to come back and have another meeting with you and update you on all that progress. So one of the things that we know or that we're dealing with is this possibility of a second slide. I'm going to have Pete Bear talk about that in a second, but before I do that, I would like to just tell you that one of the big problems that we're having is gathering data. In order for the scientists that are involved in this to really make good decisions and offer opinions about what's going to happen, is we have to gather data. And that's what we have been doing for the last 2 days with regards to imagery, trying to talk about how we're going to monitor the movement of the slide, the movement of the mountain, what the water's doing, all of those things, and the things that we're seeing at the top of the mountain that's occurring right where the slide originated and what's causing us that concern. You're going to hear more about that. So I'd like to ask Chuck Vale from the state of Colorado to come up and tell you who he's with and how the state of Colorado is helping and what we're doing.
Sheriff, thank you. Can you hear me? My name is Chuck Vale. I'm with the State Office of Emergency Management. I work as a field manager for this region, 10 counties in the northwest corner. So what do? We work daily with your county emergency manager in the planning and preparation for things in the county. Then when something bad occurs, as it has, we come to bear and we do a couple of things. We're in total support of the county. When the county has a request, so the commissioners did have a request, they declared this an emergency. That allows us to go to the governor, ask for support, which we have done. The governor has given us that executive order. That allows the State Emergency Operations Plan to open and the State Emergency Operations Center to open, and it is in Denver. Therefore, we can tap any state agency and ask for them to come here and put full bear to whatever we need. We have done that. We've got lots of state agencies supporting Mesa County. And as the sheriff said, then we have brought to bear and supporting them in a great incident management team. We have the right players here. We've reached out and got them, moved them in here in total support of the county, in coordination of the county. Most importantly, we work, everything we do is coordinated safely, and the safety part of this team is working hard on what's up there, how safe are we, why do we have to do what we have to do. And then most importantly, once we get a plan to support in the county, then we reach out into the recovery phase. We recognize early on that there's a lot ahead of this community to ensure the safening of the mountain, the irrigation ditches are put back so we can have agricultural product. All those are pieces that we bring to the table to make sure that we have coordinated. You'll hear a little bit more about that as we go around, but we're here to answer any questions. Governor Hickenlooper will be here, and Governor Hickenlooper is in total support of everything that we're doing. Thank you, Sheriff.